so we're back with another YouTube video. Actually, today I decided to take another rest from Toco World and Games. So we'll be watching Psycho Mom Kicked Me Out on My Birthday animated story. You can go and watch it, but I want to react to this. And also, I'm gonna do a Darman video after this, so just stay tuned. Anyways, please remember, like, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, share, press that notification bell. Now let's get into the game. With that being, I'm just used to saying game. So let's get into the video. With that being said and done, let's just get straight into the video.
My life as a teen was pretty cool. I never had to worry about money, had loads of friends, and did pretty well at school too. Some people said I had it all except their dad, of course. My dad passed when I was 12, leaving me and my mom alone, though comfortable. But before I continue, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Thanks a lot. Every morning was similar. I woke up at 6 a.m. sharp and went on a run. I'd run a block or two, then swing by the bakery around the corner from our building to get my mom's breakfast. When I approached my building, I saw a woman at the entrance. She was ringing my doorbell and mumbling under her breath. I tapped her on the shoulder and said I was the owner of the apartment. And to my surprise, she suddenly hugged me. She then took my face in both her hands and said, "My son!" I heard a record scratch. Son?
Your son? Didn't you say you have an other mom? Or something like that? I'm sure that's not your mom.
I didn't have a mom. I'd been alone since my dad died. She started telling me about how she left my dad ages ago and only recently found out that he died and her son was alone.
Oh my gosh. Oh my. Guess I wasn't really listening. I guess his mom wasn't there either.
I felt bad for her. She made me uncomfortable, but then she started crying. I didn't feel like I had a choice but to let her come in and stay in the guest room. I did lock the doors when I left, though, so if she was just a thief, she couldn't get out. All I knew about her was that her name was Tiffany, and she was apparently my mom. After that, Mom just sort of started living with me. It was really weird. I decided to just accept it, though, even if it was really strange and sudden. I continued to go to school, and one day I was at the cafeteria with my friends, watching my crush from...
So you let your mom stay with you. This has escalated pretty quickly, but let's continue.
Far away. She was sitting at her usual table with her artsy friends. She never noticed me, but her friends always saw me staring and had such judgy eyes all the time. My best friend Tanya caught me staring and asked, "Griffin, why can't you just talk to her?" All I had...
I also have a crush. I'm just kidding, I don't have a crush. Well, I don't have a crush. Let's move on.
Do was to look at Tanya, and she knew the answer. Because my crush was out of my league. "Well, what if you threw a party?" she asked before explaining. "It would be the perfect opportunity to talk to her," she said. It sounded like a great idea. Only problem was my mom, I guessed. Did I have to ask for permission? When I got home, I thought I had entered the wrong apartment. Everything looked different. Mom had replaced all the furniture, all the paintings, absolutely everything. I figured that the best way to ask permission would be after a nice dinner, so I started cooking after I recovered from the shock. When she was starting to eat her dessert, I gathered the courage and decided to ask, "Mom, do you think I could throw a party here for my 18th birthday?" I don't even know why I said 18th. I guess I wanted to remind her how special that day was supposed to be. My mom paused eating her dessert, wiped her mouth with a napkin, and calmly stated, "Absolutely not. There will be no parties under my roof," before taking her plate and going to the guest room. After doing the dishes, I went to my room. I was so disappointed. I called Tanya and started venting. "Dude, just throw it anyway," was her big solution. "You only just met her. How bad can she be?" I grinned at this and told Tanya I didn't know what I would ever do without her. I spent the next few days watching...
I don't think that's a good idea. She maybe not be your mom. She maybe not be your mom also. And she could still be your mom. But she has no right to tell you not to keep a birthday party Well,
Every party-related teenage comedy in planning with Tanya. I needed it to be perfect. On my birthday, my friends and I decorated the apartment. I was kind of embarrassed of people seeing my mom's furniture. It was so tacky and the color was hideous. But when we turned on color-changing lights, you couldn't tell the color was that bad. Plus, who would complain about the furniture at a party in a penthouse? The party was a hit. It was full of people, everyone having fun and dancing. I was watching my crush the entire night. Her friends were kind of jerks, so when they found whoever they were dating, they started leaving her alone one by one. I saw she was standing alone in my kitchen, and she looked so pretty. I started pushing through the crowd and walking towards her when the door to the apartment burst open. I turned and saw my mom flaming. She scanned the crowd, and when her eyes landed on me, she yelled, "Griffin!" The party cleared out faster than it had filled up. It sucked watching everyone leave, but it was so embarrassing to see my crush grab her coat and run out. My mom stalked towards me in her pointy high heels and started yelling at me. I didn't hear most of it. I was mourning the loss of my awesome party, but I caught the end of it. "You ungrateful little brat! This is what I get after coming back," my mom yelled at me.
Now I want y'all to download this game and win a game using the letters of your name. Now my name is Russell, so let's see how this goes. Okay, U. Oh yeah, going crazy. S. Oh, he's stuck. Oh, he going. Okay.
Party, but I caught the end of it. "You ungrateful little brat! This is what I get after coming back," my mom yelled at me. Something in me snapped. "Maybe you shouldn't have left in the first place," I yelled back. "I cook and I clean, and I had to pick myself up all alone when I lost my dad. But you are the victim?" My mom and I started having a screaming match. I let out every word I had wanted to say to her whenever I got frustrated with her, but she didn't appreciate it one bit. "Get out of my house," she screamed. "Your house? I'll leave only because I hate you," I screamed back before grabbing my jacket from the hanger and slamming the door shut behind me as I left. I didn't want to see her. It was as I wandered the cold...
it's not even her house. Bruh. Are you that dumb? Let's move on.
...streets of the city that I noticed I had nowhere to go. All my friends were probably on their way home or clubbing, and I honestly didn't know how to get to their houses in the dark. I walked for a long time until I found a 24-hour diner. Great timing, because I felt like my stomach was starting to consume itself. To my luck, there was a woman working there, maybe in her 20s. I was legal now, so there was really no harm in flirting myself into a free meal. I made up this elaborate lie about my sickly mother, and the woman gave me a free burger and fries, with a milkshake on the side. I gave her a fake number when she closed up the diner, but then I realized I still had nowhere to go. I had to find a place to sleep. I heard some buzzing coming from behind the diner and went to check it out. There was a vent near the ground at the back of the building. Warm air was coming out of it, and boy, how I needed warmth. The vent was next to a dumpster, which was pretty gross, but I really did need somewhere to sleep, so I laid down in front of the vent and dozed off. I woke up pretty late. The sound of traffic broke my sleep. You'd think the sun rising would have done it, but I didn't see any sunlight because I had been covered by garbage bags. I pushed them off me, super irritated. I caught a whiff of myself. I stunk like a skunk. Now that it was daytime, I recognized the way to Tanya's house and started walking in that direction. When I knocked on the door, I was exhausted. Tanya opened the door pretty quickly. "You look like hell. What happened?" she asked me as I took off my shoes. "You also smell like hell," she added, covering her nose. I was about to throw myself on the couch because my entire body hurt from sleeping on garbage, but she grabbed the back of my shirt and pushed me towards the shower, where she left me after giving me a huge t-shirt and sweatpants. After I showered, Tanya let me sleep on the couch without asking.
You have a good friend. I think Tanya's in love with you. Well, it's kinda obvious that that's gonna happen, but let's move on.
Asking too many questions. I woke up hours later, very refreshed, to Tanya asking me a million questions. Guess they had been building up inside her. I explained to her how my mom kicked me out and I wandered the streets, but I was rudely interrupted by my stomach growling. I made Tanya and I sandwiches in her kitchen, then kept explaining. "So, I guess I have to find somewhere to live and a job," I said. "She just entered your life and took everything you own?" Tanya asked. I guess so, I said. If I knew she was like this, I wouldn't have wished for her to show up all these years, I continued. Tanya told me I could stay at hers for at least a week, that her mom would probably not mind. That evening, Tanya's mom came home and I made them dinner as a thank you. Tanya's mom was a big shot lawyer, intimidating and great at her job. We sat down and ate, but near the end of the meal, after catching up, Tanya's mom turned to me and said, "I've been meaning to get in touch with you. You're 18 now, right?" I nodded, kinda scared that she was coming on to me. "Great, so we can finally execute your dad's will," she continued, grabbing another one of the cinnamon rolls I had made. "I thought it already was," I asked, but then Tanya's mom snorted and said, "You think what you have now is all of it? No way." I was pretty confused at that point, but then I asked Tanya's mom about the portion of my dad's will that my mom got. She laughed again and said, "Honey, Tiffany is your stepmom. Your dad left all the money and property to you." I was awestruck. Not only was that horrible woman not my biological mom, but I was entitled...
I kinda didn't know it, but I knew it. I knew she could have been and could not have been your mama.
More money? So this lunatic showed up at my door and made me question everything for nothing? I asked, more excitedly than appropriate. I warned your dad not to marry her, but he did, and now here we are, Tanya's mom said. She envies you because she knows she got nothing. After dinner, we went to Tanya's mom's study and I signed all the paperwork I needed to. "Sign right here and all your dad's accounts are transferred to you, Griffin," said Tanya's mom. She looked happy to see that I was finally getting what was rightfully mine. After I signed, Tanya patted me on the back and asked, "So, champ, what are you going to do now?" I knew exactly what I needed to do, and I was going to enjoy it so much. I knew exactly what my mom, or I guess I should call her stepmom, would be doing the next morning. She hadn't stopped talking about the malls since she walked into my life. While she was gone, I used the spare key I had given Tanya and entered our, or I guess my, apartment. The movers who came in right after me were super efficient. I honestly told them to just take anything tacky, and that wasn't in my room, the kitchen, or in my bathroom. The rest, they threw in a few boxes or carried downstairs as it was. I stood around watching my apartment be cleansed of evil. Soon, there was no trace of my stepmom. After the movers left, I enjoyed the view from the window. All of my stepmom's belongings were on the sidewalk in front of our apartment. I peeked out the window every so often because I didn't want to miss the exact moment when it clicked in her little mind. I saw a taxi pull up beside the mountain of stuff and hot pink heels step out. My stepmom started looking at all the stuff, probably thinking it all looked fabulous and very much her taste, before realizing that it was exactly to her taste because it was her stuff. I couldn't hear her scream, but I waved from my penthouse when she looked up at me. I waited at the door for the elevator to ding. She stepped out, fuming, and shoved me into the apartment. "How dare you, you obnoxious," she started before I cut her off, waving the documents Tanya's mom had given me in her face. "I know the truth, Tiffany. You're not entitled to any of this, because Dad knew you didn't deserve it," I said. She started tearing up, so I felt kind of bad. But then I remembered that I had pretty much been alone since Dad passed away, and only now she showed up because she wanted my money. I cooked for...
She's kind of like a gold digger. Yeah, I understand this. I understand your pain. Listen, I don't understand your pain, but whatever.
I cleaned for you. I welcomed you in my home while you were off spending my money. I want you out of my house right now, I yelled at the woman in front of me. She already had a thick layer of makeup running down her cheeks. She ran out and slammed the door behind her. Not even a week later, I threw another party, much bigger than my last. Music was booming. Tanya was off somewhere playing Truth or Dare with some nerds, and everyone was having the time of their lives. The apartment was pretty much empty, so my stress levels were at zero, at least while I was thinking about my crush. I couldn't see her anywhere. Did she get spooked after the last party? Maybe she thought everyone was gonna get kicked out again. I wanted to kick myself. Did I really ruin my chances that bad? But then, I saw her. She was out on the balcony by herself, enjoying the view, I'm guessing. Maybe it was how tired I felt after the last few days. Maybe it was the sight of her all alone. But I wasn't at all scared to go up to her. I slid the glass door open and leaned on the edge of the balcony, next to her. "Hey," I said. Internally, I celebrated that my voice didn't crack or something. "Hi," she said, turning to me and smiling. I almost turned into a puddle. She congratulated me on getting rid of the tacky furniture. Was it really that bad? I asked, pretty embarrassed of it, but she just said, yeah, and chuckled, so I felt at ease. You're gonna need someone to help you decorate, she said. I asked her if she knew anyone who could help, and I had to stop myself from jumping up and dancing when she said she could help me. I love interior design. We could work on it together, she smiled. We spent the rest of the night talking about our interests and what the apartment could look like and stuff. I guess Tanya was right when she said a party is the perfect opportunity to talk to your crush.
Well, no, you can learn anything you want from that. I didn't really learn anything, but it was a great story, guys. Please remember to subscribe, share, tell a friend, tell a friend, hit that notification bell, and also have a nice day, guys. Anyways, I liked that story. I really do like it. Now I'm going to go react to another story. Don't mind me. Anyways, bye, guys.